Now, one of the interesting moments of the night was the UFC president Dana White saying he helped try to arrange a deal for Tom Brady to play in Las Vegas along with Rob Gronkowski. Now, Dana White is from the New England area, is from Connecticut, before moving to Las Vegas and
Hmm.
buying the UFC. So I'm sure you may know better than me. There's some connection there with Tom Brady. And the
Oh,
Raiders had
he's a big
just,
Tom Brady. He's a big Tom Brady fan.
as I would assume,
Yeah,
the Raiders had just moved to Vegas. John Gruden had just become their head coach. And this was his second season, right? Because I believe his first year was in Oakland with the
I
team.
think so. I think so.
He signs this massive 10-year contract with the team. Now, obviously, John Gruden is no longer in Vegas,
Yep.
but he had been there since 2018, going to his third year at the team, right? Because 2020 would have been Tom Brady. That was his third year because he was in Oakland for 2 seasons and then Vegas for a year and a half. So it's technically not his first
Hmm.
season, third. And the Raiders quarterback's Derek Carr. They're coming off of a year where they blow up the team. Amari Cooper's gone, so is Khalil Mack. The Antonio Brown thing does not work out, to put it lightly. But at the same time, they have Darren Waller break out into a all world receiving talent at tight end. Hunter Renfrow starting to come into his own. Josh Jacobs. Offensive line is not particularly good.
Hmm.
But basically, Gronk on his. What's the name of this Gronk episode?
It's a new thing with the UFC. I guess it's watching UFC with Gronks or whatever. It's something. It's just yeah. It's the first episode of this show.
And Gronk is completely airs out that, we're going to go to Oakland and John Gruden blew the entire thing up. And then Dana White's like, well, now you blew it. I wasn't going to tell anyone. But apparently, Tom Brady's saying on The Shop when he watched that show, you're sticking with that guy over me? You serious? We all thought it was Jimmy Garoppolo and his hometown Niners. Apparently, it was Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders. As a Brady fan, hearing that, how do you feel? Because I don't know why he want it's Vegas, but in terms of winning championships, the Buccaneers were ready. They had Godwin, they had Evans. The offensive line was improving. The defense was very good. They'd won just 7 games the year before, but that was because their quarterback was turnover prone. They needed to change their offense.
Yeah. Um. Well, a lot of fans were probably surprised by this comment. I wasn't, just because I am a UFC fan and I've heard when Tom was leaving, Dana was talking about it a lot during that time where he was like, "I'm going to try and convince Tom to go to Vegas." So I'm not surprised the talks happened. I'm not surprised it got close to happening. Um, yeah, obviously the Buccaneers was the better decision. I think Tom just saw it and was like, John Gruden, minus the what he did off the field as a head coach. He's a Super Bowl winning head coach. He's known as an offensive genius or quarterback guru, if you will. Like you said, they have Darren Waller, who's coming into his own. Josh Jacobs, who I believe is a top 15, top 14 running back in the league. Hunter Renfrow is a great slot receiver. We know how Brady loves his slot receivers. Um, yeah, I could have saw it. I wasn't. I'm not surprised. He made the right decision going to the Buccaneers. Um, for me, it just shows like the Raiders front office and coaching staff didn't believe in Derek Carr, and they didn't. I mean, everybody told me when Baker got shipped out and they brought in Deshaun, like, well, if you believe in the guy, then you should stick with the guy. Well, I know you're a fan of Derek Carr, and I know our buddy Justin's a fan. I wish he was here. Justin's a fan of Derek Carr. Well, the front office and the coaching staff didn't believe in your Derek Carr,
Well, I'm
and they were,
grounded in reality.
huh?
I'm grounded in reality. I like what they did last year because of Derek Carr, along with their edge rush with Max Crosby and Unique Ngakwe. I think he's a top 12 quarterback, and in some games he could be top 10. I think that's really good in today's league.
I have them. I forget where I put him. I think I put him like 14 or 15.
That's disrespectful now. Yeah.
It's not. I mean,
Putting like Baker Mayfield had Derek Carr, I think is a little bit of a stretch.
let's see where I have him. I have the list right here. I have Derek Carr number 13.
Okay, that's reasonable.
I
So you have
have
Dak ahead of him.
I have Dak, Matt Ryan ahead of him, And then right behind him, I have Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield.
Okay, I think Kyler at 14 he has to be in your top 12 as well.
I mean, he's tailed off towards the end of the season as Matt Ryan's an MVP and made a Super Bowl. And I believe in Dak Prescott's intangibles more than I believe in Kyler Murray's.
Do those intangibles include winning playoff games?
Dak Prescott?
Yeah.
Well, he might not have won a lot of playoff games, but you can blame the coaching. And he goes rookie year, he goes toe to toe with Aaron Rodgers. And if it wasn't for a Mason crossbar, two insanely lucky field goal makes, we might have a different discussion. But yeah, Tom made the right decision going to Tampa. I mean, obviously John Gruden messed it up because he wasn't an idiot. But yeah, that's a mute point at this point because it's not going to happen. There were also rumors he was going to go to Miami too. So a lot of rumors about where Tom was going to go.
Miami would have been way worse.
Probably. Yeah, that would have been an interesting. That would have been a little petty on my for me. I would have kind of looked at Tom Brady like, come on, really? Like, I know you might have beef with Bill, but like, why you gotta? Now you're affecting the fans too, the Patriots fans that have loved you and supported you, and we don't quit on you. Like, we still love you. That's my quarterback. I still say to this day, that's my quarterback. I hate when I heard those things that him and Champagne were going to come to Miami because they wanted to go against Bill and the Patriots. Well, yeah, but you're also affecting us, the fans, Tom. Don't you realize that? Like, why are you trying to attack us? We didn't do anything wrong. We wanted you to stay. We didn't want you to go.
Well, of course you want him to stay. He's an incredible, greatest quarterback and greatest player in the history of the sport.
Listen, if I had the millions of dollars, I would have gave him the millions of dollars, all right? But I don't. I'm not Robert Kraft. I would have said, if I was Robert Kraft, I know he said after the where he intervened in that Jimmy Garoppolo deal, where he said basically throughout Bill's entire Patriots career, he's never interfered in a move Bill has made. That was the first time he ever did it. And it worked out in his favor because Tom, I believe, went to the Eagles Super Bowl and then won the Super Bowl against the Rams after that. So it worked out. I wished, and he didn't say it, but all reports shown that Robert Kraft wasn't going to get involved again if it came to it. I wish he would have, because I still think Bill made a mistake. I still do. You keep Brady. We've seen what Brady has become. You had the cap space that you showed. You built this offense. Imagine what Tom Brady would have did with that offense. I mean, it was just, for me, it goes back to kind of like that Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning debate. For me, obviously, they made the right move with Andrew Luck. We can see in hindsight. But at the time, I mean, Peyton Manning was playing at MVP caliber level. Now, yes, the injuries, they didn't know that, but still, I take the proven guy over the guy who's not proven yet. And for me, Tom was the guy, and you should have kept him, Bill. That is a mistake on Bill Belichick's resume. That will forever be there, that he got rid of Tom Brady. And Tom Brady went on to win a Super Bowl and an MVP.
I just think he didn't do a good enough job.
No, he didn't win an MVP. Sorry, not an MVP.
Second
he won a Super Bowl, yeah.
I just think he didn't do a good enough job building around Brady, and that's why he left.
Oh, yeah, towards the end, yeah, he did.
If he builds better, I think Brady stayed. If he didn't have to work with N'Keal Harry and stuff, I think he would have stayed.
Yeah. No, I mean, John, that draft, who was taken right after N'Keal Harry? Debo, AJ Brown. There was another one.
Yeah, his name, I think, is he plays in Seattle. He's DK Metcalf.
DK, yeah. And we could have had any one of those, and we didn't.
Well, at least Eagle fans took J.J. Arcega-Whiteside over DK, and after trying to switch the tight end, he's now playing behind DK in Seattle.
Yeah. Bill didn't do a good job towards the end of putting the talent. He built the defense really well, but he was basically saying, Tom, do your magic. And it's like Julian Edelman was on his last legs. Gronk was gone. There were no tight ends. The tight ends sucked. Matt Lacoste or whatever his name was, Devin Asasi, whatever his name is. Who are these guys? N'Keal Harry? Come on.
Yeah, I'm looking now. I mean, if N'Keal Harry pans out, Brady's still in New England.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Nikhil wouldn't have panned out if we took
Well,
Debo or
yes,
AJ Brown. He would have been in New England still because he would have had the talent around him. I mean, you look at that last year in New England. We shouldn't have been a playoff team. Our offense was trash. It was Tom Brady that brought us there.
and you started undefeated at like 10-0 or 9-0, right?
I forget. I don't remember that year. That was a very weird year for me. I'm sorry. That was just like a year of kind of like, you know, disappeared out of my brain because I just don't want to remember it. It's a sad year for Brandon.
Well, your sad years are losing playoff games. My sad years are watching the Steelers crumble and miss the playoffs. We both have it pretty good, I'll be honest. We're not,
You have it pretty good. You haven't had a losing record since Mike Tomlin.
Okay, well, you have it much better than a Steeler fan, so don't.
Well, obviously we're the greatest dynasty of all time, but
Well, the Boston Celtics of the '60s.
nah, I mean, level of competition, how many teams are in the league? We had a 20-year dominant reign. They had a 10-year.
They won 9 or 8 straight
Yeah,
NBA
football's
titles.
harder to win than basketball.
Sure.
Split
Okay.
years, parity, you know all that. Come on.
Sure.